Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Here is good night, actually. So here we are. Hmm. We will start soon. We will give it 2 minutes for us to start. Maybe we have our first uh, person connected. Yeah. I would like to know if you guys can hear me well. Okay. Because it's better maybe. So, so we will start just in a minute. Okay. So today we are going to discuss, we will talk about the why should we diversify our portfolio on the cryptocurrencies. So first off, uh, why even to start investing on the cryptocurrencies, right? This is one of the main points I think every one of us should consider. So first of all, is if you are investing, for sure you need to do your own research. And you need to do due diligence for every project you want to put your money on. But this is not only for cryptocurrencies. We will always say this for any investment you want to put the money on. So, for example, if you put the money on some stocks or some private equity for some companies, or the cryptocurrencies will be the same thing. You need to stick to the fundamentals. You need to revise why are you investing, what are you looking for out of this investment, maybe some short terms, maybe some long term investment. It's totally different the strategy you will pursue if you look for some short term or some longer term investment. So also the amount of your money of your wealth that you want to put at risk is also usually you need to consider very well because especially with cryptocurrencies, uh, let's say the possibilities that you lose all of it or part of it is very probable because in this uh, segment of the investment, the cryptocurrencies, is a very, very um, risk risky place, let's say. So to start with, why should we diversify? Right. Basically, we need to check about the cryptocurrencies. What is a cryptocurrency? And basically, we have two parts. One is the technology, and the other part is the token, usually. So let's look at the cryptocurrency like this. You have a technology that allows you to do something typically better than the previous systems. So for example, we can say Bitcoin. Bitcoin let us store our value or make some transfers, and this is in a faster way worldwide and cheaper than the traditional way, maybe using Swift transaction, or maybe paying by PayPal or any other. Right? So the Bitcoin will be more useful, the Bitcoin blockchain, than the previous technologies. This is one fundamental that you need to consider, you need to check. If you understand this, maybe then you really want to put some of your wealth, of your money inside of the Bitcoin, right? But okay, we put in Bitcoin because everyone knows Bitcoin is more about. But how about something happened to Bitcoin? How do you know what's going on around the Bitcoin network, Bitcoin users, Bitcoin miners? So you need to know also what is that exactly? What is Bitcoin and how does it work? Um, so for the Bitcoin in specific, we have many miners, which are people using different ASICs, different computers. We can say it's a computer network that are run by different people all around the world. Some more connected to each other, some just individuals, like could be me among others. Let's put here one computer, and then this computer is connected to the rest of the computers, and then this is making the Bitcoin technology. But as every technology, we always need to consider that this technology maybe will be disrupted in the future by some other technologies. And this is always happening in the technology world. It's not only related to the cryptocurrencies, but it's something from the technology itself. Before internet, people use more the TV, radio. Now we all use social media. We use Netflix. We use Amazon, Facebook. These things were not there 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So these new technologies adopted some other previous technologies, and with the cryptocurrencies will happen the same thing, same principles. So we will need to deep dive on where are we putting our money and why are we putting our money there. This is the first thing. So okay, let's say we put some money in the Bitcoin, for example. Then should we put some more money on other technologies, other new cryptocurrencies? There are more than 20,000 cryptocurrencies out there, and we need to know should we should we put some of our portfolio, make some diversification, and then put maybe some more on Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Polygon, or maybe some other very early stage altcoins? The answer could be different for different people, actually. If you are looking for some short-term gains, most probably you will not be able to do it anymore with Bitcoin because it's very established already from 2014. Now, Bitcoin is already very established. So we cannot say Bitcoin will be a very good place to make short-term gains unless you are trying to time in the market, which is not very easy. Usually, you make loss instead of making gains. You follow a very short-term strategy. So, why should we consider other technologies into the blockchain, into the cryptocurrencies, to put part of our money and diversify our portfolio? I will say this comes to the point where different technologies for the different blockchains and the different utility case will be the main point where we start looking for some other blockchains. So, for example, we have the Bitcoin, which is using the proof of work, right? And as everyone knows, now the Ethereum moved from the proof of work to the proof of stake. And in this case, if we want to diversify our, let's say, portfolio, we can put maybe partly on the proof of work technology in Bitcoin, the main blockchain using this technology, and then we could put another part on the proof of work being Ethereum, the main one of the main networks, let's say the main network using this protocol, this consensus mechanism. So now we will have part of our portfolio is in one technology, proof of work, with the name of Bitcoin being one of the projects using this technology, but it's different, the technology from the name of the coin, right? And then we will have some of our portfolios on the proof of stake, being, for example, Ethereum. Okay, let's say now we have two places where we're storing our value. Is this volatile? Is this going to be to zero? It seems it will not be, at least not so fast, because these two blockchains, these two projects already have many people involved. And then not only people, but also companies are investing in these two major blockchains. So With these two blockchains, we could say we will be able to keep our value more stable, our portfolio more stable. If we are into cryptocurrencies, we cannot compare maybe with the traditional investment, where there you can say it's much more um, stable than the cryptocurrencies. But if we just talk about crypto, maybe yeah, the best tool for stability, let's say, is the Bitcoin, then following by Ethereum, because they are around for a longer time with more users. So the next thing we could think is, okay, we want also some short-term returns, or we want to invest into some of the newest and the best of technologies, because the earlier the technology came out, like a Bitcoin or Ethereum, most probably the technology itself is not the best one or the newest one, right? So maybe these technologies will be disrupted by some other. So in this point, you could check some other technologies that came out after the Ethereum, like Cardano, Solana, or maybe the layer twos that we talked last week. You could say Polygon, for example, or Base, which is a very new one. And which of these tokens to choose, right, to invest on? Then it's a very personal decision, because every different project will have different reasons why to invest or why not to invest. Depends on what you're looking for, and depends on what you really believe the technology you're using or the use case they have will be useful for longer term, and then will attract to more people, right? More users. One main point we need to keep in mind is that the price of a token, let's say of a Solana token, Ethereum token, Polygon token, or Bitcoin token, is reflecting part of the real technology that has and the real utility and the number of users that this blockchain has. But some other part is not related with the, let's say, better technology or mm, use case or utility. Some other part of the value of the price of the token, different moments, is related with the news, with the regulation, with the government, with the speculation, most of it. So take care out there once you look for the new token, because it doesn't matter only the technology is the best. Maybe let's say you want to invest in the best technology, but this is like a more like a startup world. And in a startup, you cannot um, ensure, because they have the best idea or the best technology, that they will be really successful, right? So in this case, we could say it's difficult to confirm that um, the the newest blockchain or the best technology, the newest technology, will be always the best place where you want to put your money. Also, you need to look at the team, the fundamentals for these technologies, and how many users they are starting to have, how many connects on the technology itself, how many people, the developers, are putting their time to develop things for this new blockchain. So it's very specific for each of us to make the call on I go to put this money in this new altcoin or into the other altcoin. I'll say better to study, uh, spend a good time of hours to learn about the different technologies before you put in money on it. This is at least how I personally do for any crypto that I invest. So most of us, I think, in this market, in this bear market, we have in the Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana, Cardano, Polygon. The top 10 points is where you want to put your most of your money allocated. If we are talking about crypto, and maybe if you really know about some new project that maybe has some big potentials, maybe we could put some of our small part of our portfolio then to try look for some new and bigger uh, bigger or higher gains, let's say, that if with the top 10 projects will be more difficult to make because there are more stocks. Yes, that's true. But during the bear market, the liquidity is not easy to get for the newest project. So usually you will make maybe an investment on any new token and new coin. And if you are able to control the risk and making some money, most of the time will be short term, and most probably in the bear market this will go down again. Maybe some more speculative action by many people than just really long term looking for long term investment, long term gains. In this case, right now, we could say that the liquidity is not easy to get by the small retail investor, and we are now waiting for some bigger investor to come back. So right now we can only do this through two main ways: by ourselves with the decentralized exchange, or we could go to the centralized exchange. In the future, it seems there will be some more players, like the traditional players in the different stock exchanges. They will be able to offer the regulated cryptos like with the ETF options. So in this point, we expect in the near future to come much more liquidity by bigger investors because they will have the regulated way to invest in crypto. So should we advance to that movement? Maybe it's a point to keep an eye on. Personally, I'm doing my research on when and how will be this ETF for Bitcoin or ETF for Ethereum will be developed, and when will become in public. So, meaning if this ETF become public, then the market value of any, let's say, Bitcoin or Ethereum will be able to go much higher because we are opening a new door for many new people that if they were interested in crypto but they thought maybe this is very risky, now they will have a regulated way to do it. The same way they put their money on the S&P 500, S&P 500, right, or any other stocks in the world because it's regulated by the government and then they are having more security on what it could happen and how the investment is done. There are some certain rules. It's not like the wild west like right now for crypto. So maybe in this way we could see some new all-time high for all these different coins. So until that, mm, personally, I think I will not invest on many new coins. I will stick with the most let's say traditional ones, if it's possible to say traditional, only previous. But so for me personally, I will follow like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, Cardano, these like top five, top 10 uh, coins for now. For sure, this is not any financial advice. You always have to follow what you think you want to do, what you can risk, and then always do your own research. For example, I would like to talk also, guys, today. I prefer some consensus mechanisms. We were talking about the proof of work and proof of stake, but we could also talk about some others that were very popular, very fast appear and then disappear, or just went down. No one talked anymore about that. For example, technology is the proof of capacity. This is instead of using the proof of work, the machine's power, or instead of using the proof of stake, which is who has more of the token, then who has more votes. Um, this one, proof of capacity, is using the HDD or SSD, which means the capacity of a device to store things. So, if you store information, you will also be able to prove into the into the blockchain that you are working for the blockchain so that you will be rewarded in that case. I remember Chia being very, very popular, releasing the concept out there. But right now, we didn't hear from Chia that much in the last, let's say, in the last few months. So these kind of things usually happens. This is more like a startup, as I said. And if we are invested in newest technology, new concept, sometimes will work, but most of the times will not work because of many different reasons. One could be the team, another one could be the technology itself that has some flaws, or maybe it's not popular itself, or maybe very expensive for the miners to invest on the material, or maybe it requires technology that actually right now is not so easy to access. So all this will make our investment right now much more difficult. What I do myself is I try to look for the trend, and when I see the trend really established, maybe I'm not the first one to invest in a new coin, but if I see a trend and is establishing that trend, then I'll go for that. This is from the marketing perspective also, right? We always try to confirm the, the different trends, and then we make our big bet after we confirm some of these trends. So I don't know if you guys have some questions right now or something you want to talk about. This is what I wanted to talk to you today. Maybe you can talk a little bit more also on how to make these investments in the daily useful, and how to avoid the risk of exposure that we have to the different changes into the crypto market. So, for example, if you have a lot of your portfolio is already into crypto, but you don't want to be so exposed to the different changes on the crypto market, maybe you can use the stable coins also. So stable coins is a very good tool for all of us to put our money there, and it would be pegged to dollar or euro. In this case, it's more like a traditional money, but we just made it crypto. So you can use USD, USDT, for example, and then you have your portfolio on the crypto. You can have it there, and once you confirm those trends, you get back to Bitcoin, you get back to Ethereum or Solana or any others. But during some time of uncertainty, and because you don't want to be so exposed, you still can have the crypto. You don't need to go back to fiat to your bank account, but you can have it in the exchange or in your own wallet also, no matter where. But you can have it in USDC or USDT. In this case, your exposure to crypto will be zero, let's say, almost zero, let's say, but you will always have the access instantly to change from those coins to the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on, back into the more, let's say, unstable and risky coins. Okay, so um, also some trends. I didn't talk about it yet, but some trends that you can check is maybe different blockchains are trying to do the same thing. For example, some gaming solutions, right? Gaming is something is been a big trend in the last few years, not only in the blockchain but in general. So if gaming solution comes to the blockchain, to any crypto, maybe this is a way that you can be exposed to a trend in general, like gaming, or another one will be the smart contracts, or DeFi. These technologies, some of these blockchains allows us to program our money, let's say, to make programs on this. Uh, this could be also a new trend that you could check if you keep listening all about, let's say, smart contracts. Maybe you can check which are the best top projects for smart contracts specifically, and then there is a new opportunity so that we can have some gains, not only the transfer or the store value, but also smart contracts, payment, different utility cases. So I don't know. You have some questions? You can ask me in the chat actually. Let me check. Maybe we can go to some news. Let's go to some news. people is talking maybe there's a will run ahead. Some dead crypto tokens just came back to higher values, higher price. Also, we were known 3 days ago that the SBF parents were sued over some missing million of all of us. What else we have here? Yeah, as I said, the BlackRock is maybe shifting from Bitcoin to XRP. Let's see, we just have the rumors now. Um, nothing so special this week. Yeah, so we will finish here for today, the stream today, and I would like guys to give me the topics that you want me to talk about every week. If you have some topics you want me to talk about, just leave it on the comments later, and we can touch these topics in the next live stream. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next